Once upon a time, in a far-off kingdom, there was a beautiful and magical forest where the trees were tall and the leaves were always green. It was said that those who fell asleep in the forest would sleep for 100 years and wake up only when a true love's kiss could break the spell. One day, a young prince was out hunting and he stumbled upon the magical forest. Intrigued by its beauty, he decided to explore it. As he walked deeper into the forest, he suddenly came upon a clearing where a magnificent castle stood. The prince walked towards the castle and saw that the gates were open. As he entered, he found the castle deserted, but the furniture was covered with dust and cobwebs. He walked through the castle and came upon a grand bedroom. There, he saw a beautiful princess lying on the bed, fast asleep. The prince was amazed by her beauty and could not resist the temptation to kiss her. As soon as he did, the princess stirred and slowly opened her eyes. She looked at him and smiled, and the prince knew that he had found his true love. But the prince soon realized that something was wrong. The castle and the forest had been under a powerful spell, and he had broken it by kissing the princess. The spell had also affected the princess's family and the entire kingdom, putting them to sleep for 100 years. Determined to break the spell, the prince searched the castle and found a book of magic spells. He spent the next few years studying the spells and learning how to break the enchantment. Finally, after 100 years had passed, the prince was ready. He cast a powerful spell that awakened everyone in the kingdom. The people were overjoyed to see that their prince and princess had found true love and saved them from the curse. From that day on, the kingdom prospered and the prince and princess ruled together, living happily ever after. And the magical forest remained a symbol of love and hope, reminding everyone that true love conquers all. There once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the mountains, there lived a young girl named Anna. She was known throughout the village for her kindness and gentle nature, and everyone loved her. One day, while wandering through the forest, Anna stumbled upon an old cottage deep in the woods. It was abandoned and the windows were boarded up, but Anna couldn't resist the urge to explore. As she walked through the cottage, she came upon a small room at the back of the house. Inside, there was an old bed covered with a tattered quilt. The room was dusty and unused, but Anna felt a strange sense of peace and comfort in the space. Without realizing it, Anna lay down on the bed and soon drifted off to sleep. She slept for hours, and when she finally awoke, she felt different. Her mind was clear, and her body felt rejuvenated. Over the next few weeks, Anna visited the cottage every day and slept in the small room at the back of the house. Each time she slept there, she felt more and more rejuvenated and alive. The people in the village noticed the change in Anna and marveled at how beautiful and vibrant she looked. They began to ask her what her secret was, but Anna simply smiled and said that she had found a special place that gave her strength. As the years passed, Anna continued to visit the cottage and sleep in the small room at the back of the house. She grew old, but her spirit remained young and vibrant. When she finally passed away, the people in the village erected a small shrine in the cottage in her memory. And to this day, travelers who stumble upon the old cottage in the woods tell stories of the magical room at the back of the house where a young girl named Anna once found rejuvenation in peace's own words. Once upon a time, in a small fishing village, there lived a young man named Jack. Jack was a hard worker, but he was always tired and never seemed to have enough energy to get through the day. One day, Jack decided to take a walk along the beach. As he walked, he came upon an old fisherman who was sleeping on the sand. The fisherman looked peaceful and content, and Jack felt envious of his relaxed state. As Jack continued his walk, he stumbled upon a small cave that he had never seen before. Curiosity getting the best of him, Jack entered the cave and found a beautiful crystal sitting on a pedestal. The crystal glowed with a soft, warm light, and Jack couldn't resist touching it. As soon as he did, he felt a strange sensation wash over him, and he fell into a deep sleep. He slept for what felt like hours, and when he finally awoke, he felt like a new man. His body was strong and energetic, and his mind was clear and focused. Excited by his newfound energy, Jack returned to the cave every day and slept next to the crystal. Each time he slept, he felt more rejuvenated and alive. The people in the village noticed the change in Jack and marveled at how energetic and vibrant he looked. They began to ask him what his secret was, but Jack simply smiled and said that he had found a special place that gave him strength. Years went by, and Jack continued to sleep next to the crystal in the cave. He grew old, but his spirit remained young and energetic. When he finally passed away, the people in the village erected a small shrine in the cave in his memory. And to this day, travelers who stumble upon the cave with the crystal tell stories of the magical energy that can be found there, and of a young man named Jack who found rejuvenation and strength from sleeping